Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Erika Jayne's lawyer suggests she's emotionally destroyed after Tom Girardi's prison sentence. The Tom Girardi saga finally came to an end on June 3, 2025, when the disgraced attorney was sentenced to 7 years in prison for stealing millions of dollars from his clients. This case has been dragging on for years, so there was plenty of time for Erika Jayne to emotionally prepare for this outcome. However, one of her lawyers says the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star isn't doing well after the sentencing. The Sun spoke to an attorney named Jim Wilkes. At one point, fans thought he was dating Erika, but he's actually just a longtime friend of the Girardis. He's also representing her in one of her many civil suits. Jim has had a front row seat to all of Erika's legal and marital troubles. Now that Tom has been sentenced, he said Erika has been experiencing a wave of emotions. We're not sure if guilt was a part of that wave. I'm sure she's emotionally destroyed, but there's a part of her that's shut off and compartmentalized, Jim explained. He continued, if someone you loved and trusted, and everyone else told you to trust, broke every bit of trust you had in them, and didn't even tell you, covered it up, how would you feel? Jim noted how Tom's dementia diagnosis has made these last few years even more difficult for Erika. She's still legally married to him, and Jim predicted it will stay that way until Tom kicks the bucket. Either way, Tom has been ordered to surrender to the authorities by July 17. The RHOBH cast is expected to start filming soon for season 15. So we might be seeing Erika's reaction to all of this on Bravo. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is streaming on Peacock and Hayu in the UK and Ireland. Not the temperature, though the air conditioning had been relentless, but the feeling. The kind of cold that seeps into your bones, the kind that doesn't come from wind or snow, but from finality. It was the cold silence of justice, the echo of an empire collapsing. Erika Jayne sat in the back, expression blank, the fire of her stage persona buried beneath layers of mascara and quiet panic. Tom Girardi had once dazzled her. He had been the silver-haired titan, a man whose power in the courtroom was matched only by his charm. But now he was just an old man in a jumpsuit, shuffling like a shadow across the polished floor, no longer a legal god, just a convicted fraudster. Her lawyer, the ever-composed Michael Eisen, had leaned into the microphones outside the courthouse just hours after the sentence was handed down. The press begged for blood, for tears, for rage. What they got was a calm, clipped statement. Erika is emotionally destroyed. She's still processing the gravity of it all. Behind those words, though, was a volcano. For months, years even, Erika had walked a tightrope. On one side, the glittering pop star of Pretty Mess, fierce and unapologetic. On the other, the ex-wife of a disgraced titan, implicated in his fall from grace. She had weathered the headlines. Gold digger. She knew. Frozen accounts. With the steel-eyed grace of a woman trained in performance. But this, the final nail in Tom's coffin, this was different. No one tells you how to mourn someone who's still alive. In the days following the sentencing, Erika retreated to the hills. Her mansion echoed with too much space, the silence only broken by the occasional hum of the espresso machine or the distant click of stilettos she no longer had the heart to wear. She'd pull her hair into a bun, wear sweatpants, and scroll through news articles with trembling hands. She wasn't crying, not then at least. Crying would have been easier. But what she felt wasn't sadness. It was obliteration. Like someone had turned her life inside out, hung it in public, and set it on fire. The man who had once whispered love to her on balconies in Capri, who promised her a world dipped in diamonds and drenched in legal brilliance, had orchestrated financial devastation on a national scale. Victims, embezzlement, millions siphoned from those already broken. And while Erika maintained she hadn't known, she couldn't escape the guilt that bloomed like mold in forgotten corners of her mind. She'd think back to the dinners, opulent feasts under crystal chandeliers. The staff, the cars, the custom stage wardrobes. What did it cost? She'd ask herself now, lying awake at 3 a.m., and who paid? Her lawyer checked in often. Michael had a kind face, but the eyes of someone always calculating 3 steps ahead. He was protective, yes, but also pragmatic. "You're a public figure," he reminded her, "and you're still under scrutiny." "But I'm also a person," she'd reply. A broken one. In a world where diamonds sparkle under stage lights and courtroom spotlights glare with equal intensity, Erika Jayne's world has crumbled like a rhinestone empire under pressure. The pretty mess singer, known for her unapologetic glamour and fierce presence on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, is reportedly emotionally destroyed following the sentencing of her estranged husband, Tom Girardi, once a legal titan, now a convicted felon. Her attorney paints the picture of a woman whose emotional well-being has been battered by a storm no one could have seen coming. Erika Jayne is not the same woman who first put on those stilettos and said she gives zero you-know-whats, her lawyer confided. This has broken her. Tom Girardi, once a powerful California attorney who stood atop the legal food chain, was sentenced to decades behind bars for embezzling millions from clients, including widows, orphans, and plane crash victims. It was the kind of scandal that turns high society stories into crime docusery scripts. His fall from grace wasn't just dramatic, it was operatic. And Erika, though never criminally charged, has found herself trapped in the emotional debris of his downfall. From Beverly Hills mansions to federal courtrooms, Erika has walked a tightrope of scrutiny. As Girardi's legal woes piled up, so did the questions. Was Erika complicit? Did she know? Was her lavish lifestyle funded by the pain of others? The court of public opinion was quick to deliver its verdict, but legally, Erika remained untouched, if not unscarred. Still, surviving isn't the same as thriving. Her lawyer, speaking candidly to the press, described Erika's mental state in heartbreaking terms. She feels betrayed, shattered, and deeply traumatized. This isn't just about a marriage ending. This is about finding out the person she loved and trusted had lived a double life that destroyed so many others, and is now destroying hers. Indeed, the emotional toll of Tom's crimes appears to have sent shockwaves through Erika's psyche. Once bold, brash, and blisteringly confident, she now reportedly moves through her days like a ghost of her former self. Worn down by years of headlines, depositions, and disbelief. She cries. She's anxious. She feels like she's been buried under a mountain of shame that she didn't ask for, the attorney said. To Erika, the fallout is not just about legal bills and canceled gigs, it's about identity. Who is Erika Jayne without Tom Girardi's shadow, now that the spotlight has turned harsh and cold? For years, they were a power couple, him, the venerable courtroom strategist, her, the pop diva and reality star who turned heads with every rhinestone-laden look. But behind the scenes, cracks had begun to form long before the public got a glimpse. She didn't know, her lawyer insists. She didn't know what he was doing, and when she began to realize things didn't add up, it was already too late. The walls were closing in. The emotional destruction, he said, lies not just in the betrayal, but in the unbearable guilt of being unwittingly tethered to so much suffering. In recent months, Erika has attempted to claw back pieces of her life, returning to the stage, filming another season of RHOBH, and cautiously stepping back into the world that once adored her. But fans and critics alike have noted the shift. Her performances have edge, yes, but also a vulnerability that didn't exist before. Behind the makeup, there's pain. She has to keep working because it's her only form of therapy, her attorney shared. But every stage she steps onto, she carries the weight of judgment, some justified, most not. Public perception remains sharply divided. Some see Erika as a tragic figure, an accessory by proximity, not culpability. Others see her as tone-deaf, flaunting wealth while victims await restitution. But no matter the narrative, Erika's emotional state is no performance. This isn't a storyline, her lawyer said. This is her life, and it's unraveling. Privately, Erika has reportedly begun intensive therapy. trying to sift through the layers of grief, shame, and disbelief. Friends close to her describe sleepless nights, panic attacks, and moments of paralyzing fear about what's next. "She's not okay," one source said. "She's holding it together in public, but behind closed doors, she's in pieces." And who wouldn't be? The man she married, who once boasted of his courtroom victories and took her from a waitress in Pasadena to the red carpets of Hollywood, was found guilty of stealing from the most vulnerable. It's a truth that cuts deeper than any tabloid headline. Tom Girardi's sentencing may have closed a legal chapter, but for Erika, the emotional story is far from over. Each headline is a wound reopened, each fan's skepticism, a reminder of the life she can never go back to.